Hi folks, Pat the Wizard 345 here, and today we're going to play some Minecraft, and more specifically, we're going to go on to my recreation of the Alton Towers haunted house. Now, of course, this year was the last year that Duel, the Haunted House Strikes Back, was in operation. And there's rumours and some subtle references throughout the ride that that something else is going to take its place, and a lot of people are saying it could be a return of the original haunted house, or like a modernised version of it. So I thought, in honour of what might be the return of this ride, I thought I'd give you a quick sort of tour of my Minecraft recreation of it. So here we are at the front of the ride, as you can see. This is of course Gloomy Wood, and that's the kiosk that would have housed, I think it was called the Witch's Kitchen, or something sinister. No, that was the name of the shop, which is over here. Then when they changed to Duel, they called it Spooks R Us, I think. Yeah, something sinister. Give you a quick tour. So where you get the ride memorabilia and your ride photo. So I'll show you that. Right, we might as well get on with the tour of the ride. Starting, of course, with when the haunted house first opened, they had the full extended graveyard queue, which they only really used on Duel when it was in the Halloween season. But yeah, in the original ride you'd go all the way around this queue, with dark humorous things written on the gravestones, and yeah. Then you come out to the side of the house and you start going around here, and we're about to enter. So, enter if you dare. I think that was the tagline from the original advert back in 1992.
Enter if you dare. The new haunted house ride at Alton Towers.
But in we go. Of course, this is the foyer with all the really creepy paint pictures used to be. I always preferred the original haunted house paintings. They were much scarier than the sort of I don't know, copy and paste Google Imagey ones they used for Duel. But yeah, this is this room. You gradually move your way along into Abandon Hope All Ye That Enter Here. I think this phrase does appear in the actual ride itself near the tunnel, but I think in the queue itself it says that it's basically a spooky implication that there's CCTV watching your every move. So here we go into the drawing room, where there'd be paintings with eyes that would follow you around the room, and this would be the doll's house where the little girl ghost would be in. They still sort of use that at some point in Duel, but they never fully revamped the room. They sort of scaled it down a lot for Duel, with more emphasis on the instructional videos playing in the background. They did sort of give it a bit of scale and polish a few years ago with anamorphic paintings that would appear. They were alright, but there's just something about the original haunted house. The atmosphere was so classic gothic horror. And there would be a fireplace here with a ghost's face appearing in it, and a book with turning pages by itself, and a rocket horse moving on its own with thunder and lightning appearing in the background outside the blue windows. So yeah, and then you make your way into here, into the ride station, and here we are in the ride station, there's the control tower up there, and this was basically where the disabled entrance is before. In the last couple of years of Duel's run, they did make, in fact I think in its very last year of operation, they did make the full queue finally wheelchair accessible. It's a shame, I don't know why they didn't do that earlier. to be honest. But yeah, but now, sadly in its last year of operation, only then did they make it wheelchair access, the full version of the queue, because ordinarily they'd have to come through here and just come straight onto the ride station. But I'm hoping with this, whatever they're going to do to the ride, I hope like they make the experience like great for anyone to ride, really. So here we are at the station. Let's hop in a car. Luckily there's one right here. And let's get on with the show. So we make our way into the poltergeist room with the cracking walls and the lightning. And then into the dining room with the bust. It of course it turned into the screaming bust for Duel. And then you come through here, and then there's the demons that jump out at you. And then we come into the room where the doorway doesn't look like it's going to go out the way before you go through it, and then it moves at the very last second. We took that out for Duel, and now here we are at the tunnel. So we'll just hop out of the car here. Just to show you the... Oh yeah, it's just abandon all hope. Enter here. Here we are at the tunnel that used to spin, and then eventually it just broke, and they never seemed to fix it. But yeah, that's that bit. And of course, in Duel, a zombie jumps out from around this corner. Right, so back in again through the tunnel, and of course, then you'd be surrounded by, in the darkness, surrounded by bats. By here. Eventually, now we enter the giant's lair with the crashing fingers, which later got replaced with demon heads. And then in Duel, they were of course changed to zombies. Around here, and then of course the giant face would reveal itself by there. Moving on to the Hall of Spiders. Of course, it would play and I think it still does play in Duel, "Are you scared of spiders?" That effect would play by here, before eventually travelling under the giant spider. I'm just going to go back. Can I go back? Yeah. Because that's one thing I might change at some point, is I think I revealed the giant spider thing a bit too abruptly in the ride, but slow it right down. As you can sort of see, you go under the spider and on into Electric Bill's corridor. Of course, that switch flicks down, and then the whole ride gets turned into pitch darkness. And then ordinarily there would be a flying ghost that would go overhead. But of course that effect only lasted a little bit before it was finished with the exploding skeletons. I think this bit got sort of replaced with a vampire in Duel. And now we're moving on into the Screaming Demons corridor. Yeah! And all that jazz. These still worked right up to the end of Duel's run. And of course then you'd have that giant tiger demon, which I've recreated by ear. I think he was originally in the garden, but then they put him here for some reason. And now we're out into the garden section. This is probably the best themed area of the ride. You'd have a little hooded figure and Minecraft's even trying to add atmosphere to it. And of course the Undertaker would be here with his ghost hearse. And then you'd come around the corner, and then there'd be the demon jumping out of the cave, and then the statue of the Grim Reaper. And then, of course, the pillar that would spin around with the face screaming at you, and then the ride would sort of pick up the pace from here into the final section. Of course, the tree that would fall down, and then I can't remember what would be here. Oh, like a crumbling wall, and then you sort of enter the garden at the very last section of the garden, where there'd be loads of effects going off at once. Demon heads coming out of the concrete. And this whole section was replaced by the zombie basement at the end of Duel, with the zombies blasting you from the rafters. And then of course you come around to the final corner, and the very last thing they do is throw that jump scare at you for your ride photo, and then you're into the exit station. So yeah. And then you'd make your way down through through these doors. Like in the actual ride itself, it's like it's much longer than that. But yeah, and you come out back into the shop. So that's the whole ride done in general, really. Yeah, I'm hoping now in the next year Alton Towers will reveal what they're going to be doing with the haunted house. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this little tour of my Minecraft haunted house at Alton Towers Recreation, and I will see you soon with some new content. At the end I'll probably just do a non-commentary montage of the ride to give it the full effect. But yeah, this is Pat the Wizard 345, and I will speak to you soon.